Hogan has built up an impressive multi-million-dollar property empire over his career. As the 86-year-old Australian edges closer to a permanent return down under. After living in America for years, his portfolio has now largely been dismantled. Over the decades, Hogan has amassed an extraordinary list of homes in some of the wealthiest parts of both Australia and America, including Los Angeles, Byron Bay, Granville, Chullera, Mosman, Seaforth, Belrose, and Vaucluse. The Sydney-born star's first foray into real estate began in the harbourside suburb of Mosman in the early 1970s with his first wife, Noeline Edwards. The couple purchased their first home in 1973 for $45,000, selling it a year later for a modest profit before upgrading to a $71,750 Seaforth home. That property later sold for $118,000 in 1979. Before the pair moved to a sprawling Belrose acreage of more than 8,000 square meters, but for just $78,000. Although Hogan and Edwards divorced twice, the Belrose property remained in their names until it finally sold in 1998 for $2.16 million. Perhaps Hogan's most famous Australian residence was Cedar Springs, a sprawling 130-hectare hinterland estate near Byron Bay. He built the property himself ahead of his 1990 wedding to Crocodile Dundee co-star Linda Kozlowski, and it became his final Australian home before relocating to the U.S. for 3 decades. The estate sold in 2006 for the hefty sum of $8.1 million. In the early 90s, Hogan splashed out by snapping up homes in some of the U.S. ritziest areas, including Venice Beach, Malibu, and Santa Barbara. One of his most notable properties, a 4-bedroom Malibu home, he held onto his Venice Beach compound until 2015, when it sold for $1.995 million United States dollars after being bought just 2 years earlier for $1.585 million United States dollars. Hogan and Kozlowski divorced in 2014 after 24 years, citing irreconcilable differences. He later remained in Venice Beach, where his mansion was reported to be worth about $3.5 million United States dollars. Hogan's last known Australian property link was severed in 2010, when he sold a commercial office investment in Parramatta.